just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Bringing them out will be Kirk Cousins, born just outside of Chicago, played his college ball for the Spartans at Michigan State.
I do hear some mild criticism of Kirk Cousins and his play the last few seasons in Washington, mainly because the team was just 24-23-1. But I also saw a quarterback with an offensive line that essentially introduced itself to each other in the huddle before the first snap in Seattle against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Win that game with big plays late. This is a tough-minded, hard-nosed, gritty quarterback that tends to inspire a team to play better around him.
Cousins on first down. And incomplete to open things up. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. That'll bring up second down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
Kyle Rudolph had his second Pro Bowl appearance last year when he had 8 touchdowns, just one off of his career high. One of the most likable, upbeat players in the league. Continues to improve as a blocker as one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the league. One of the guys that the Vikings like to build around for the future.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. Throwing again, Cousins on second and 10. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Full start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5, first and 15. A give. This is Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. The cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills. You get the full package with him.
On second down, Cook. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now running right through it. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be brought out by their Pro Bowl QB in his 7th year now in the Emerald City. It's Russell Wilson.
So knowing the style of offense that Seattle favored or has favored during Russell Wilson's time there, raise your hand if you thought you'd see him lead the league in touchdown passes.
My hand's down right now.
That's what I thought. He only had 21 in 2016, so we didn't see that part coming. The Seahawks missed the playoffs for the first time in Russell Wilson's tenure last season, but expect that to change going forward.
Yeah, 34 touchdown passes last year on the heels of the 21 you mentioned the season before. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson, and he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Quick slant, caught by Moore. He's at the 30, past the 20, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there, 75 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Out to kick is Janikowski. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Vikings getting the football back here. Last week, a loss to New England, 24-10 for Minnesota. Kirk Cousins had defeated Aaron Rodgers the week prior, and then he was trying to do the same thing to Tom Brady, but he could not do it.
That's hard to do in Foxborough, isn't it? Really difficult to beat Tom Brady anywhere. But the Vikings now have to turn the page and look ahead. They're still battling for one of the wild card spots, still within a game and a half of the Bears in the NFC North. They will play the last week of the season, Week 17, in Minnesota against Chicago. That game could mean something, but more importantly, this week coming up for the Vikings at Seattle. They need that one desperately.
Trying to stay above 500 right now, 6-5-1. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. from the 21. It's 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Cousins. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Holding. Offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Down.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Throwing, Cousins. And his pass incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, when we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. As Seattle gets ready for their next possession on offense, we look at what they've done this year. 7-5. Now they've won 3 in a row. They took care of San Francisco last week, Charles, 43-16. So they're staying in that playoff race.
They certainly are. As it stands right now, if the season were to end today, and we always do that, don't we? They would have one of the 2 wild card spots in the NFC, and they're playing better and better as they go along. Russell Wilson getting plenty of help from the ground game, but he's still Russell Wilson. 4 touchdown pass against San Francisco. And considering he only threw 17 passes total, that's a big day.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And we are tied at 7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Carson, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. From the gun, it's Wilson. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. This is taken at the 18. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They start the drive with Cook. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Left side caught by Diggs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Vikings 1st down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Wilson on second down. And a grab made by Doug Baldwin. Baldwin's first catch going to be good enough for a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Now Wilson on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And out now come the Vikings. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Here's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. 5 plays there on that drive, and it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run. Bailey now to kick this one away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see.
Holding, receiving team.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson, Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Wilson now already over 150 yards through the air in the opening quarter. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 14-7 is the score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Wilson to the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Wilson now to throw on 2nd down. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Wilson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. This is Carson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it, rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Nick Vanette from 13 yards out. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
It's not a great revelation to say that it's going to take a lot to replace what Jimmy Graham gave this club from the tight end position, especially in the red zone. But that had to be an encouraging sight for Russell Wilson right there, as he finds one of his replacements for the touchdown.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run it now out of the gun.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
but all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Throwing is Cousins. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
2nd down, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. He got 29 yards that time. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Cousins now on 2nd down. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. It's the fullback. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point try by Bailey. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is now 21-14. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll toss it out to Carson. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They run it with Carson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still 1st down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. That is caught at the 7. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another 1st down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
To throw again is Wilson. Dancing to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski good with the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A 10-play drive that time. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They run the counter with Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Cousins on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Across the NFL, all the byes are done, so the 32 teams have played exactly 12 games. And if you look at the offensive leaders right now, Charles, starting with passing, Ben Roethlisberger at the top, but Patrick Mahomes is right on his heels.
Just 22 yards behind, and he's the guy that everyone is focused in on. He's fun to watch. How about the rest of the top 5? Matt Ryan, Jared Goff, and Aaron Rodgers. The guys toting the ball. Todd Gurley leads with 1,175 yards. Ezekiel Elliott right on his heels as well.
Yeah, those are the 2 1,000-yard rushers right now in the National Football League. Cousins on 3rd and 2. Open man as Thielen is complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Cousins now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. Cousins again. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll throw again. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Again, it's Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now Wilson on second down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Wilson now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves and sticks.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 2nd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Throwing again. Wide open receiver, complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They run again with Carson. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Janikowski bangs it through. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. Now Abdullah, the return. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run it again with Cook. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, with that incompletion, let's have a little fun and give a shout-out to the latest 1,000-yard rusher in the NFL, Tom Brady. Only took him 19 years, but he got there.
Did you really have to go snarky there on Tom Brady, getting 19 years to get to 1,000 yards?
We praise him on everything, the incredible career, but, man, 19 years for 1,000 yards, that's something.
What I really enjoyed was how he celebrated it. When he got there, giving the 1st down signal like he was Cam Newton or someone, I think even he understood, all right, 1,000 yards for me, This is kind of funny.
Yeah, he had a big smile on his face. Also, he did tie Brett Favre for third all-time in passing touchdowns with 508.
Not to mention, he did it in another Patriots win.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Matt Wild now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught, block it. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pick up there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. On 2nd down, Wilson. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. He got 29 yards that time.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear into diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it. And here we are today. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Wilson operating from the gun toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Right back to him on first down. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. On second down, Davis. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. Now Abdullah, the return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Now it's Lockett. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
And they'll run it here. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On 3rd down, Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now here's Michael Dixon, standing just about on his own goal line. Here's Sherrills. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. On 1st and 10, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in,
down,
making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start hurts him there a bit, backs him up to 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. They go play action. Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
Or the old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. On 3rd down. That's Carson. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Sherrills to return it. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. First down. Here's Cousins. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Cousins. He's going to look deep down the field. And nearly picked off there. And it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw
second down.
you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. To the air again, it's Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Cousins on first down. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still third down.
Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game as now they've got it 3rd and long. To throw is Cousins. And an alley to run. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 34. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Wilson. Caught right side, Davis. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. A 1st down carry for Davis. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Now a toss play. It's Carson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Flushed out right. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On third down, that's Carson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Janikowski bangs it through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. Now Abdullah, the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. He'll look to throw. Throw left side on target to Thielen. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Back to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Frank Clark in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Back to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And, a crusher there as it's it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return. But I don't think they care. They've got the football back. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the games. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
After review of the play, the running on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes. and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.